Okay, laws contrary to the public interest refer to legal regulations or actions that undermine the overall well being, rights, health, or finances of the general public, especially impacting marginalized or vulnerable populations. These laws can be problematic because they might contradict or violate the purpose of existing regulations or statutes intended to protect the public interest, such as laws promoting free competition, cause significant social harm, unfairness, or disruption, even though they don't explicitly violate a specific legal statute, disproportionately impact certain groups, such as poor or marginalized populations, leading to social and economic injustices, reflect biases, prejudice, and the interests of powerful groups rather than common good, lead to a decline in the public trust and confidence in the legal system and the government institutions. It is important to recognize that determining whether a law is contrary to the public interest is a complex and often subject to ongoing debate and interpretation, particularly as social norms and values evolve. Examples for potentially problematic laws, contexts that are unfortunately because they violate public policy. These may include agreements that encourage illegal acts, obstruct justice, or promote corruption. Wealth-based banishment or other policies that harm low-income individuals, such as those restrict access to housing or lead to burdensome fines and penalties. Overly restrictive regulations that stifle innovation and competition, regulations that disrupt the marketplace or favor certain companies or technologies might have unintended consequences that harm the public. Laws that infringe on the fundamental rights and liberties, restrictions or speech or action solely because they are offensive or disagreeable, some can see as contrary to the public interest in free expression, according to the United States courts. So, I talked about that a lot, and basically I started speaking on the public interest when I first read the Rules of Professional Conduct back in '79, and in the preambles it says all lawyers are legally obligated to do what's in the public interest and maintain the public trust. They are barred from doing what's in their self-interest, parochial interest, or the interest of the bar. If you read the Rules of Professional Conduct, you'll find that in the preamble. What's contrary to the public interest mean? Contrary to the public interest means contrary to the goals of the act, and generally speaking, it follows that the public interest is violated when economic order based on the principles of free competition is infringed. The economic order is what the act intends to protect through its enforcement. Okay, so you're the public, so you should really get into this public interest doctrine. What is an example of the public interest? Such work may entail lobbying, policy advocacy, public education, community organizing, and or class action or impact litigation. According to the public interest model, government tries to enact laws, regulations, and policies that benefit the public. The private interest or public choice model, by contrast, sets the government officials to enact laws that are in their own private interest. No, remember, the Constitution requires all public servants to do what's in the public interest. It requires them to work for the greater good, the need of the many, not the greed of the few. But if you feel there's anything that can negate anything I say, I welcome you to find it. quite a bit that can be said about the public interest. What's in your best interest? And I don't see that happening. Say these tax codes, they benefit the billionaires, not the public. How is that in the public interest? That's a prime example. There may be taxation with representation, but that's felonious representation. Okay, but look it up. Laws contrary to the public interest. All right. And when it comes to your politicians, cross-reference that with the public trust doctrine, as well as the basic obligations of public service. Okay? And you'll find none of that's happening. Okay, and these are laws, you know. I mean, before I started using the wheelchair, I was walking all kinds of funny with crutches and canes, and the cop tried to arrest me because he said I was walking funny, crossing the street. But nearly got arrested for walking funny. I use a wheelchair now. I can't make it that far. But here they are breaking the law. Serious laws. Laws that have penalties. Look up penalties for violating the oath. Penalties for violating the basic obligations of public service. Penalties for conspiracy against rights under the color of law. There's penalties behind everything they do when they break the law. But none of them, your public servants, are going to prison for it. Remember, all laws created must be in the public interest. The Constitution is part of the public trust, and this is how we maintain the public trust. Thank you, and good night. May your Creator always be with you. Have a blessed evening.